want to. You don't gotta do it if you don't want to. You don't gotta do it if you don't want to. It's just a suggestion. Come on.
All right, what you got?
Oh my gosh, I've got The Need to Breathe.
That's a band.
Yeah. Okay. So my last thing is Brad Keith Sigmund.
Okay.
On Friday, he was the
Wait, well, hold on. Do I know who this is?
I don't know. The name.
Do you think I know who this is?
I don't think you know.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
On Friday, in South Carolina? In South Carolina, so this guy, Brad Sigmund, in 2001, his girlfriend broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
He, in a rage, went to her parents' house, kidnapped her, killed both her parents by hitting them each 9 times with a baseball bat. And then when she tried to jump out of the moving vehicle, he shot and killed her. And he admitted to this the whole time. So, at the trial, whenever the trial was, he said, quote, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am guilty. I have no excuse for what I did. It's my fault, and I'm not trying to blame nobody else for it, and I'm sorry." On Friday, he was the first person in 15 years to be executed by firing squad.
At his request.
At his request.
Yeah, you have to request that.
Yes. He said that the other 2 acceptable means of execution in this day and age, which is electrocution and lethal injection, gave him pause for undue hardship, pain and suffering. So they shot him. So the fact that he was executed doesn't really strike me. I know that we're getting back into that kind of stuff, and I actually believe in capital punishment. I think that there's very little argument against it. It's just the cost alone keeping these people for their long unhappy lives is to me is absurd. But the point what I wanted to bring up is he was the first person to be executed by firing squad in only 15 years.
What state?
In South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So that means
in the country.
Yeah. So that means
not even Texas. I thought Texas was just like going through them.
Oh yeah, but they're just shocking everybody to death.
Oh, the first person in 15 years by firing squad.
Firing squad.
Oh, okay. So Texas is still like rolling about. Sure, they're on a schedule.
I thought that
you can go to them if you want to.
Yeah. I thought that the firing squad concept had been made like illegal or had been gone away since like the 1920s.
No, it's state to state.
So interesting. So while we're on the subject, I'm interested in your thoughts on
I have thoughts.
The whole deal of like the whole concept of capital punishment and what the best method should be, and should it be a universal concept?
Yes, and I'm willing and prepared to offer you those thoughts. However, I think there is a far bigger question here.
Okay, what's the bigger question? What caliber rounds did they use? Are you allowed to aim for the head? Do you have to go center mass? How does that work? I've never really thought about this before.
This is a big question.
Yeah. I thought this would be heavy. Especially after I mean, Trump on Mount Rushmore is a pretty big deal.
Why did she break up with him?
Let me see. Hold on. You keep talking. I'm going to ask that question.
Why? Did they ever say why? Was it like, we've grown apart. It's not you, it's me. Or you missed our anniversary. Or you can't commit. Or whatever it may be. I mean, whatever he did was wrong. And he should not have. But I think if we knew why she broke up with him, we'd have more understanding.
There's no public information on why Brad Keith Sigmund's girlfriend broke up with him. It could be a personal matter that was not widely reported or shared.
I mean, okay. So let's put this.
Oh, I don't think that ChatGPT knows who this person is.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, it's because it goes on to say, if this is someone you're close to or have a specific story in mind, I'd recommend reaching out to them directly. She's dead, so no, can't do that.
Okay, so hey, it's not you, it's me. We're done. What he did, overreaction. Okay. Hey, this is all you got me for Valentine's Day? We're breaking up. What he did, overreaction. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I was pregnant 6 months ago and I didn't tell you, and I didn't want the baby and I aborted it, and I am also hooking up with your best friend and we're moving to Australia next week. What he did, still an overreaction, but closer to...
So
I mean, there are degrees, right?
Yeah.
I know what he did was absolutely terrible and wrong and not justified in any way, shape, or form. But if we don't know how their relationship ended, then it's more difficult to judge him.
So it says. So I got ChatGPT. I was like, no.
Fill in the blanks?
I was like, no, bro. I'm talking about this person, and then she's like, oh, I see. Huh? That person. That Brad Keith Sigmund. Mm-hmm. Yes, said that old Brad had a history of abusive behavior and was reportedly distraught.
Okay.
So,
all right. And I know my question is probably going to come off wrong. It's going to sound completely insensitive. And you're taking the guy's side, and it wasn't her fault. And why were you creating a victim out of her? And that
sounded like he was psychologically disturbed.
Okay. Well, it sounds like he got the end precisely how somebody who is psychologically disturbed deserved it.
So this happened in 2000. This happened in 2004. Looks like. No. It happened in 2001. He was convicted in 2004. So he spent 21 years on death row.
Oh wow!
And I think that's pretty common.
Okay, so he wanted firing squad.
He wanted firing squad. He requested firing squad, and they shot him.
I mean, anyone that has watched The Green Mile can know how electrocution.
I've never seen The Green Mile.
Oh my. Okay.
I'm not a Stephen King fan.
All right. Here's what I'm proposing. Hey, people at home, please.
Context. Oh, please. Here's the context.
I am
terrible at.
I submit that we should do Chipotle followed by The Green Mile.
Oh God, that sounds like a double awful day for me. So I have never seen The Green Mile.
What's wrong with Tom Hanks?
I like Tom Hanks, and I really like Vince Vaughn's in that, right? No, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yes. He's excellent.
Yeah, that was like his first role, right?
One up, yes.
Yeah. But I have such a hard time with the cinematic versions of Stephen King storytelling that.
Did you read that book?
No. And he wrote that.
So don't.
He wrote that under a different name, right? That was when he.
Yeah. So don't read it and watch it, and then you'll have a different.
And then dramas. Oh my
God. It'll be better after Chipotle.
So here we go. You really want to make this. So we're going to watch The Green Mile, which deals with electrocution, according to you. I didn't know that. Wait, thanks for the spoiler.
It's not. But you should have seen it.
So we're going to watch The Green Mile, but in keeping with the theme, we also need to watch Wes Craven's Shocker, which is about a death row inmate who is killed by electrocution.
Oh.
And
spoiler.
This is just the basic plot.
All right,
it comes back to
done.
To Hunter. Right?
Done doing it.
So that's a terrible idea. You're going to get the short end of this. I'm
off in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Oh, last week of March, I'm off. So let's make it happen.
Okay. We do need to. I really do miss how we used to get together and watch movies.
Yeah, I do too.
But I kind of feel like we stopped doing that because we ran out of movies that you'd seen.
No, there's tons of movies.
Yeah, but I've already seen The Matrix.
No, I've got others. Don't you worry. I can pull. I've got
Okay, so the average time a person spends on death row in the United States is around 20 years. So Brad met the average.
Okay, and what does that cost from start to finish? That's got to be my guess. I'm gonna say 80 a year, 1.6. That's what I'm calling it. 1.6. No.
1.6 mil annually?
No. 1.6 mil for 20 years.
Oh, geez. No, I'm going to say it's probably something around $8 or $10 million. Let's see. Average cost of a person incarcerated. What is the average cost to keep a person incarcerated for that? Also on death row. The cost of keeping a person incarcerated significantly on death row is significantly higher than that of a regular prisoner. On average, it costs about $1.5 to $2 million more to keep an inmate on death row compared to a life sentence.
Okay, well that's already more than what my guess was.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell me
how much does
you're too slow.
row
Estimated costs
per year.
Oh no, that was the. Oh wait, yeah. Oh shit. So it is 1.5 to $2 million more. The low estimate for a 20-year stint is 30 million. The high estimate's closer to 40 million.
30 million. I want to see items printed line by line.
So it says
that's
one.
That's ridiculous. There's no way that. Okay, yes, we should. I'm going to say something that could get us canceled. So, no, I'm not. Internal censoring is happening as we speak.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so in California, a 2011 study by the California Commission of Fair Administration of Justice found that the cost of housing an inmate on death row in California is about $90,000 per year higher, with approximately 700 death row inmates in California. It costs about $137 million a year in California.
How much?
$137 million a year in California to keep the 700 death row inmates incarcerated.
137.
Yes. And so by that token, it's $1.8 million per inmate a year.
Okay. Well, wow.
In Florida, it's closer to only 1 million because they don't feed their people.
What would happen? Okay, can you ask chat what would happen if they stopped feeding them eggs?
I don't think we have enough current data. It would not be significant. Yeah. So they attribute the costs being so high to legal costs for appeals and such. Specialized housing. Death row inmates are typically housed in special high security units, and extended incarceration, of course, due to lengthy legal processes. Blah 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 blah.
All right.
So everything plus the cost of a special wing of guards. This all contributes to all of these costs. But yeah, so from what I'm seeing, it looks like it costs the state of California an average of about $40 million from the time that the person is convicted to the time that they're executed. But we don't. Do we kill people in California anymore? We don't, right?
No. I think the last time was over. I would say almost 50 years ago. Over 50 years ago. I don't think I can't remember. That would have made news.
No, January 17th, 2006, Clarence Ray Allen, who was convicted of ordering the 1980 murders of 3 people while he was serving a prison sentence for a previous crime. So he did a mob hit from jail. That's pretty movie derivative.
06. Okay.
But it says that
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. But it says that California has had a moratorium on executions since then. So he was the last.
So I think the thing about it is you got to get it right.
And that's you
got to get it right.
That's where the concern is that you can't ask somebody if you got it right after lethal injection. You can't be like, hey bro, I know that took 14 minutes. How do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, we electrocuted you and we just kind of let you wiggle for 8 minutes. Have you been dead for a good amount of time? You can't ask
Oh, okay. No. I'm speaking more about you have to know they did it. You have to know they're guilty.
And that's
that
the
part
big-
has to get right. You have to get. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the Innocence Project, which exists because too many of those cases were just wrong.
Yeah.
They were just wrong.
It's you're talking about ending the life of another human being who in turn allegedly ended the life of one or more human beings. But yes, how can you be 100% sure? You're talking about, you know, a jury of peers. So I don't know. It's a very difficult prospect.
I was reminded of a movie.
If you tell me the plot, I could probably tell you. Because I've seen every movie ever made except for Green Mile.
Did you watch Strictly Ballroom?
Yeah.
Are you making this up?
No, it's good stuff.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was on my list to show you. Oh man, I
Sorry,
have to
bro.
pull something out. Sorry. I failed. All right. Sam Jackson in the South, wrongfully accused, was on. I'm seeing a U. What is it? Known for. No, let's get the rest of it. Upcoming. No, we don't want those. We want all of his movies. He was a prominent character. I think he might have been the accused in the movie. I can't. The name's not coming to me. Videos, personal details.
Time to Kill.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. He plays Carl Lee Haley. I've seen that. Time to Kill. Who seeks justice after his daughter's brutally attacked. While he is not wrongfully accused of the crime himself, he is charged with the murder after killing the 2 men responsible for attacking his daughter.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Mississippi. Yeah. Yeah.
So he definitely did it in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I was just reminded of that.
So have you made your list yet of movies from the references from your Suits show?
Nope.
You're terrible at this.
I don't need to. It's already okay.
Oh, okay.
Give me a list of movie references from Suits. Oh, there you go. Yeah, TV theater. Okay. Oh, it's a long one.
Oh yeah, it goes on forever. Jesus, and it's given. ChatGPT gave me a synopsis of every single one.
Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, same here. The Godfather. Haven't seen it.
You never seen The Godfather?
No. Top Gun.
Wait, hold the. You've never seen The Godfather?
I've never seen The Godfather.
Really?
I just hit my mic.
That's like, when you're talking about cinema, there's certain things that you can't say you've ever seen a movie if you've never seen, and The Godfather is kind of right there. So is Scarface.
All right, Godfather. Seen it? Or no, sorry, not. Top Gun. I haven't. Yeah, I've seen Top Gun.
We almost had a fight.
I saw it in your eyes, too. Goodfellas. I haven't seen that.
Goodfellas is fun. That's a good one.
Princess Bride. I have.
Sweet Jesus.
Leo.
Okay.
A Few Good Men.
Good.
I've seen it. Jerry Maguire.
That one's fun. That one's a fun one. That was before Cuba Gooding Jr. went crazy.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a fun one. It's one of Tom Cruise's best films, in my opinion.
Silence of the Lambs. I've seen it. Apocalypse Now. No.
Yeah, that one's hard to watch.
Pretty Woman. Yes. Batman. Yes. Mission Impossible. Yes. Stripes. Is that the one with Bill Murray?
Yes.
I just watched Bill Murray on. Oh well.
Hot Ones?
No. Listen to him. He was on Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah. And he and I watched a snippet of that. He had no concept of podcasting. He actually got up and walked away. And Joe was like, unfortunately, people can't hear you if you're over there.
Yeah.
And made him sit his ass back down.
He asked him, are you recording this? Are we on video?
Yeah, had no idea. Yeah.
No, he didn't really know who Joe was.
I think he's doing a farewell tour, Bill Murray, because he was on Hot Ones too.
He's got 3 movies coming out. He's got 1 out and 2 coming out.
Yeah, and I think he's saying goodbye.
Sure. Sleepless in Seattle. Nope.
Yeah, that was fun. That's a rom-com. It's good movie with the wife.
Rocky. Yes.
Of course.
Casablanca.
What'd you say about Casablanca? Yes? No?
Yes.
Oh, you have seen it.
I've seen. I need 20 more, please.
Pulp Fiction's on the list. The Big Lebowski's on the list. Come on, you've seen The Big Lebowski?
Pulp Fiction, yes. Wall Street. I haven't seen it yet.
Wall Street's fun. It's okay. I mean, I'm not as
Swingers, no. Dark Knight, yes. Fight Club, yes. Gladiator, yes. Shawshank Redemption, yes. When Harry Met Sally.
What about that one, number 9? Have you seen that one?
The Matrix. Yes. When Harry Met Sally, no. Die Hard, yes. Usual Suspects, no. Chariots of Fire.
You'd like The Usual Suspects. That one you would like.
I think I have seen Chariots of Fire, but I don't remember it. Titanic.
Jesus, terrible.
Yes. Jaws, yes. Forrest Gump, yes. Liar, Liar, yes. Terminator, yes. Big Lebowski, no.
Oh, that's one of the greats.
I haven't seen that.
It's a detective movie.
The Big Lebowski?
Yes, it's a detective movie wrapped around a slice of life picture about this laid back like stoner dude who gets wrapped up in this whole like murder and investigation because he has the same name as some rich guy and they stole his rug. Or they peed on his rug.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's one of the greats. It's like
really,
yeah.
Is John Goodman?
John Goodman's in it. Steve Buscemi's in it, and it's
see, I'm thinking like that bowling movie,
Kingpin with Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray.
I haven't seen that either, but that's what I'm thinking of when I.
Yeah, they both have bowling as a theme.
Oh, okay, all right. Scarface, yes. Back to the Future, yes.
My wife just recently saw Back to the Future, and I'm saying that on camera because it's a hilarious joke. Yeah, we're gonna have to print this out.
Ghostbusters, yes. Lion King, yes. I mean, it goes on. I mean, I can get Karate Kid, yes. Jurassic Park, yes. The Departed, yes. Clueless. I don't think I plead the fifth. Braveheart.
It's a great film.
Braveheart. Yes. Wizard of Oz, yes. Mean Girls, no. Star Wars. I kind of wish I hadn't watched all the Star Wars. Breakfast Club, yes. Inception, this is one of my favorites. I do love Inception.
It's a good film, yeah.
When you said Stop Life the other day, that nonsense in the text, I was thinking about that. I almost sent you that. The Sting, I don't know that one.
That is a great detective. It's a detective comedy.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11, yes. Rocky Horror Picture Show, no.
Oh, that one. So here's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. When the federal government legalizes marijuana, we're going to get blitzed off gummy bears. We're going to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm not.
What a shit show.
I don't want it.
What a shit show.
Dumber and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey.
I don't remember it.
Really?
I don't know if I have.
It's like the quintessential Jim Carrey film.
I don't like early Jim Carrey.
Really? The slapstick.
It's not for me.
It's that.
Blues Brothers. No. Ferris Bueller.
As a musician, you've never seen the Blues Brothers? Mm-mm. That's such a great. It's like a music video, and it's Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi.
I know them,
and they go through the film, and all of the other actors are cameos from musicians.
I drove by Hollywood Boulevard. They have the Blues Brothers bar. The famous blues guys. He kind of helped Belushi. Yeah. Kind of helped create that whole genre.
Yeah.
It was blues. There was places for it.
Cover blues.
People got into it.
It also had, at the time, it had the largest police car pileup ever filmed.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, yes. Untouchables, no.
That's a good one. You'd like that one.
Caribbean, yes. The Graduate. I don't think I've seen that.
Really? Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. It's a drama. Dustin Hoffman is like 20 in it.
Oh no! Oh, 1967? No, definitely not. I haven't seen it. Anchorman? No. Hunger Games? Yes. Caddyshack? Yes. Animal House?
That's like the granddaddy of Jim Carrey movies you don't like.
I think I have seen Animal House. Legally Blonde? No. Wolf of Wall Street? Yes. Field of Dreams? Yes. Zoolander? Zoolander? No.
Yeah.
How many of these are there?
So for those of you just joining us, we're finding out how many references the show Suits has for movies. It seems like a lot, but it also seems like a really good list for somebody who maybe has huge glaring gaps in their cinema.
Create your own term.
Yeah. The amount of movies you've seen.
Okay, so Suits ran.
Oh, so it's over. I can watch it now. I can't watch shows when they're running because I have a nasty habit of watching shows that get and then they get canceled.
I was aware of Suits when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting. The longer I left it on the shelf, the more interested I got. There's so many clips, and basically I was watching the amount of clips I was watching was equivalent to an episode. So it's like I just gotta. Hey, I was like, Lizzie, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we did it. She loved it. However, we know with a good idea, sometimes they veer off of that path to become more palatable for the masses.
Yeah,
and it's like you started here. This is where you had me. Yeah. You had me here. This was great. It's still great. You can be great again.
Yeah.
I'll send them some hats.
But the problem is you're only great for this amount of people. They want to be great for this amount of people.
I know. So I think I asked.
Interesting. So I've never seen Suits. I know nothing about it. Is this the one with Meghan Markle?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I am vaguely aware of it.
Yes.
Probably because of news when she got married to Prince Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
There's a brilliant lawyer and an individual that cross paths. This individual remembers everything.
So he's got total recall.
And they team up.
So is it a serial like court drama?
It starts out that way.
Is it a detective show?
No.
There
is detective work.
Yeah.
It's basically there's a case. It started out, hey, there's a case. We need to solve this. They find a creative way to solve this. Episode ends. And that's how
that's a detective show.
That's how many of the first episodes happened.
And they get less episodic, and they get more.
Now it's more. Yes. Now it's more like, hey, we spent 4 episodes. You're on the same case.
Yeah.
Or hey, we spent 5 episodes, and it's just been a relationship.
Yeah, that's modern. That's modern storytelling. Is the arcs. I really like when shows go back to the monster of the week concept.
Yeah.
Like we're watching High Potential right now, and it has the archy stuff that's built into it, which I think is great, and I think that it needs to be there. But somebody dies in the beginning, they solve the mystery by the end.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, like House.
I've never seen House. I don't watch a lot of television.
All right, so Suits has 134 episodes. They're currently all on Netflix, and there's approximately 300 to 400 movie references. So we've got our work cut out.
Yeah, well, but you've probably seen...
Yeah.
Seen 30, 40, 50% of those.
Sure.
You just apparently missed all the good ones.
It'll be fun. And it'll be fun to revisit some of
those.
those.
Yeah, you haven't seen The Godfather, but you've seen The Lion King.
What? I could do... one every other day, right? It'd be done in 2 years.
Be done in 2 years. Yeah, totally. That's how I used to watch movies. I mean, when I was at my height of movie watching, like, because it didn't just happen overnight. I just seen so many films because that's all I did for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I would go to Blockbuster and I would rent 4 or 5 movies for a night by myself.
What time were you at Blockbuster?
This is
Oh, you weren't gonna watch them all that night.
no. Yeah, I would start them and I would watch as many movies and then maybe watch 1 or 2 the next day.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, you go. It opens at 10 a.m. You go at noon or something. I have the day off from work or whatever, and the average movie back then was 98 minutes. So yeah, you could go right through them. Of course.
Yeah, there weren't any Lord of the Rings back then.
No. And now the average runtime of a film is a lot longer.
Yeah, about approaching 2 hours.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that because I go back and I watch movies that aren't great, but they're movies that I liked as I was younger, and I'll watch them again, and it'll be like 92 minutes long. And that includes the credits. And I'll be thinking, oh man, if this movie was only like 12 or 14 minutes longer, they could have fixed all this, right? So I like longer run times. But so yeah, and then of course, when I was younger, I worked for Blockbuster, and when I worked for Blockbuster, they, movies would come out. We would actually get a delivery of them like 2 weeks before they were released, and they encouraged us to watch the movies. They would give us a stipend, like we were able to take 2 movies at a time, and I got free rentals, and I literally watched everything that released at that Blockbuster for the 2 years that I worked there. And I mean everything. Every indie film, every Ice-T straight-to-video movie that was coming out, every blockbuster, every horror film, everything.
You wasted a lot of time.
I did, actually. You don't realize, now we're so oversaturated with streaming.
It's everywhere.
And everywhere. But back then, you had to actively seek out all the bad movies. Like if you're like, I'm going to watch bad movies, you had to go look for those. They were pretty.
Sounds like my grandfather when I was growing up, because he would just go to this local independent
ABC video or whatever.
Yeah, whatever, and he would pick up a few things,
Yeah.
and like, I haven't seen this. It's probably going to be bad, and he'd watch it. Oh, that was bad. And he expected it to be, but he's got it anyway, and he paid good money for it, and they would take it back and tell the guy, "This is terrible." You get the next terrible thing.
I went through a period where every Friday night I would stay up late. It was Thursday night because I had Fridays off, and the wife would go to bed, and me and Mason would stay up, get drunk. Well, I'd get drunk. The cat would just hang out.
He never had a lick.
No. MC loved licking ice cubes, and he would just lick them right off the top of your whiskey. But no, I've never had another cat that's ever been like that. But and we would just put the headphones on, and me and Mason would just sit there and watch horror films until I got too tired to stay awake. And we would watch, 2 or 3 a night, and we were watching every indie horror film that we could get our hands on, and we would see things like, I can't remember the names of most of them, but they were all so bad. Like there was one where a killer killed a transgender woman in a bowling alley by cutting her penis into quadrants. Just really wacky stuff. And we did that for a couple of years, me and Mason.
I'll be happy to forget that.
Yeah. But then there were also gems, things like Zombievers, which we were in Phoenix.
Zombie
beavers, called Zombievers. Brilliant. Just so.
It sounds far from
That's so great. Ask Amethyst, because when we were in the hotel room in Phoenix in the evening, we had the Netflix account up, so all we had to do. And she was like, you've always mentioned in these couple of films, and she doesn't like the violence and stuff, so I never really watched horror movies with her. But now she's kind of getting desensitized to it, probably because of all the Marvel films, but like Deadpool and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I know exactly what she was talking about. She's talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil with Alan Tudyk, which is amazing.
I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. No, of course you haven't. But because it's just some low budget indie horror film.
Okay.
And Zombievers, and we watched them both back to back, and she was just like, "What the hell are you doing with your life?"
Is that what she said?
No, she didn't say that. But she enjoyed them, but I could tell she was just like, "Really? Zombievers.
If I had known this earlier.
I just recently watched the two, because they made a sequel, the two Winnie the Pooh horror movies that came out in the last couple of years. Winnie the Pooh became public domain in 2022, and immediately somebody announced they were going to turn it into a slasher film. Yeah, they got.
Oh yeah.
And they got Pooh and Piglet in the woods killing teenagers. And oh my gosh, it's terrible. The first one's really bad. The second one's only kind of bad, but it's just like they're making one based on Steamboat Willie now, or maybe it's already out. But yeah.
Don't tell Taco.
The point of my story is that I've seen a lot of movies in my day.
Yes, you have. And movies are good for. I learn a lot from movies.
Oh, we're not watching the same films.
Oh.
You're not learning a lot watching Zombievers. I'm sorry. Maybe the Green Mile will change
vocabulary and certain nuances, and I tend to be drawn for things that delve into the law or military. So I learn a lot there. History.
Yeah, you like historical and faction-based fiction or nonfiction,
or at least adjacent to that.
Yeah, something that at least feels like it's in the real world. You might be surprised at how much of that stuff is bullshit.
Oh, I'm sure I would, because many of the movies and the films I've seen, they're based on a book, right? Yeah. And that book is a complete departure from the film, or vice versa. Actually, the film has moved away from the original intent.
I have a long and arduous history of, because I love to read too, of movies being made based on beloved, and that's obviously a common complaint. It's not like the book, but it's worse for me because some of my favorite books of all time have been turned into some of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
And over.
There's no way you can do it adequately unless it's a series of movies, right? This movie, this is the start, this is the middle, this is the end. Make every book a trilogy and give the adequate amount of time for character development, and let's get to the crux of whatever this conflict is and then solve it. Have the resolution.
The problem with that is, and you really have to capture the audience early and quick, because you get things like Divergent or Maze Runner, where they make the first couple of movies and then they fuck everybody out of the end of the story. No, I'm talking about.
No, but those two examples, that's a series.
Yeah, but they didn't finish making all of the movies because they didn't have the popularity.
So Divergent. That series didn't, because there was one more book or two, on right, four, surrounding around four, but they made the first three.
Yeah.
Maze Runner, how many are in Maze Runner? How many books are in Maze Runner?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, bro.
I think they completed that. There's 3.
I love those movies. They were great. Fun. They're just fun.
Yeah, we watched them recently with the boys. I knew what they, a male-centric, adolescent male-centric cast, and there's a problem to solve, right? And we have 2 adolescent boys who love to solve problems. So, hey,
good times. I enjoyed those.
They were along for the ride.
No, I disagree that movies need to be multiple films to make books. I'm talking more about this, and I'm okay with adaptations. I'm okay with that. I love comic book movies, and I know that the departures they make drive some people bonkers. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with things like I love Ready Player One, and I can appreciate the film even though it's such a big departure from the book, right? Things like that. No, I'm talking about the Three Musketeers, which they've made like 13 or 14 times into movie form, but they've never once had the actual villain from the book in the movie. None of them. One time, in the Kung Fu one, where Mila Jovovich plays Lady De Winter, and we went to the theater and saw that one. I almost left the fucking theater. That's what I'm talking about. My love-hate with books and films is deeper than, oh, they didn't make that person's hair color the way that it is in the books.
Oh. Well, I mean, it is entertainment.
I need to be entertained because of that.
But you have to know to expect the disappointment that comes with reading the material before you. So if you really want to read it,
that's horrible. That's a horrible. I'm going to be so disappointed. Let's go see this film that I love the book on.
It's a known fact. You cannot do. It takes you. Well, how long? Okay, so an average novel. How long does it take you to read?
I read slow.
Okay, I'm exceptional. I'm slower than you. You type faster than me. You get to places on time faster than me, and you.
That's not a speed relevant. Yeah, but no. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm slow.
So, but approximately, like if you want to leisurely enjoy a novel from start to finish, can you do it in a day?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've only read one book in my entire life in a sitting, and it was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay. So, the youngest in my family, younger sister, I'm almost 10 years older. She'll spend 4 hours and she'll be done.
Yeah, I have an aunt like that who, like, I remember when I was a kid, we were hosting family members, at the house, and my aunt had a couple of books. Was like, all right, I'm gonna read these before bed. That kind of deal. Okay. No, for me, like if I'm reading, like, say, like, I really like Perry Mason mysteries, and the other, they're Pulp Fiction length. They're like 160 pages or whatever, and I will read them. I will read for an hour or so in an evening if I'm into a book and I'm reading it straight through, because it's kind of the only way that I have time, and it will take me, 2-3 weeks to read a book. Okay, that's how I do it.
Yeah, I would say about a month if I'm invested and I want to, if I want to pick it up, and if I'm going to regularly, about a month.
Yeah, and that's fine. See, like the people who burn through books just to burn through books, I wonder if their experience is being diminished. Because it's like with me in movies. I've seen so many movies that now I'm at the point in my life where I can't remember the names of any but the most exceptional films. Because I've seen so many, and I continue to watch so many. Just watched Sonic 3. That was great, by the way. But
I haven't seen any of them.
They're so fun. They're kids.
My boys have, yeah.
They're kids movies.
And I love Sonic growing up. I like to play Sonic the Hedgehog, and I used to draw Sonic. Yeah, I used to draw pretty sketchy.
They did a really good job on that trilogy. It's really well done. But
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. He's great in it.
I like the current Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's great. But so I wonder if people who are reading books at that rate are just like, it's something to do. Another book. I mean, like the people who love like cozy mysteries. There are a lot of cozy mysteries. They're designed to be serials, right? Janet Ivanovich has one of the most popular ones. It's the Stephanie Plum is her character. She's like a bounty hunter. And she goes back and forth every other book, banging this dude, banging that guy. It's two guys. It's just this romance triangle that she initiates. But there's like 36 of them.
All right.
They just, every year she releases one, like clockwork every October, right? And so if you're the kind of, and those you can, I've only read a couple of, I have read a couple of those. And I enjoy them. They're fun. They're easy reads. You just fly through it. That I read in like 4 or 5 days. Only because I wanted to read it because I wanted to research to write my own cozy, right? But if you're the kind of person who is just going to the used bookstore and picking up, double fisting these kinds of Pulp Fiction kind of deals, at what point are you just like, oh, this person did that in that book 6 years ago. This person did that in book last summer. This person did that in this book. This person did that in their own book six or 7 books ago. And when does it just become like, does it suck? Does it suck for you to have that, to be like that?
Well, for me, I would need more time and space to apply whatever I'm learning in the book, because most of what I pick up or buy is nonfiction. It's something I can apply, use.
Yeah, I'm having this conversation with the wrong person.
Yeah. So I do enjoy Dan Brown's series with his name just slipped my mind. The main character, the symbologist from Harvard University. I remember everything about him. He's got a Mickey Mouse watch that he wears on his wrist. He likes to swim in the pool.
I'm talking about Alphas? Oh, the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, what's the main character's name?
Robert Langdon.
Langdon. Yeah, Robert Langdon. Yes. I like his books. And they're somewhat simplistic, but I like Dan Brown's attempt to bring history, facts, science, in some ways current events into his literature so that the fiction and the facts overlap enough to make his story plausible.
See, I love that too. That's why recently we talked about National Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun because it just seamlessly weaves reality and historical reality into this fiction to where you don't know what's real and what's not. It's so much fun.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I like Alexander Dumas, who wrote Three Musketeers, is he did that. So the Three Musketeers is in America, it's a 5-book series.
All right.
You know, he released it as 3 books.
All for one, one for all.
Yeah, but it's so engaging to me because even at the time, and this is in the 19th century, he wove. It's a period. Even when he wrote the books, it was a period thing for him. Mm-hmm. So it was so it's he's an old author writing a period fiction series, but he did the same thing back then, where he's talking about like King Charles II and all these things that really happened, and he makes these historical events that maybe have some mystery to them make sense by inserting these 4 French Musketeers. And it's brilliant. It's so beautiful. Okay. And it's so much fun. Romance and action and swashbuckling and adventure. Yeah. But they just have been unable to capture that in a 2-hour movie, which is too bad. And of course, it ends with The Man in the Iron Mask, which they did with DiCaprio.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's awful.
Oh, okay. Don't watch
it. Even for a regular film, it's not great. But it's one of those things where they changed the ending.
Oh,
it's so aggravating.
Well, that's like all the Harry Potters and...
so they do that there too?
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Harry Potter movies because obviously I'm an adult.
Who also watches Winnie the Pooh?
Every chance I can. It's such a timeless innocence with him bouncing on the letters of his own name and singing. It's so good. I'll do it tonight.
Oh my. Yeah, film is, I mean, that's one thing our country excels at, right? I mean, I know there's Bollywood and there's other countries that make film, but
we pervade
Hollywood.
The industry came from us.
Yes. That's one of the reasons the particular state that we live in is as successful as it is.
Tax money,
given all of its faults and shortcomings and ways we can improve.
We make movies.
We definitely paid for the weather here when we live here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We get all of the landscape and the geography and the sunshine and this luxurious weather and our position where we can just drive to the mountains and find snow and find the beach.
In 3 hours, you can be anywhere.
And precisely. Yeah, it's great. And we don't take... Last time we talked, you were talking about Yosemite and not going.
Never been.
Yep, that's got to happen too.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, we're going to go.
Couple movies, Yosemite, Chipotle on the way.
Yeah, but... It's a date. That sounds like the worst day ever. Hit Chipotle, trying to get to where we need to take a shit. They were gonna watch 2 movies about people being electrocuted and then go climb a rock.
Oh, spoiler alert! make this up.
No. Nope. And we'll film the whole thing.
Yep. I think we should. We have the means. My cameras have been collecting dust lately. I need to break it back out. I was just charging stuff the other day. Just charge it back on the batteries, but maybe you should take a camera to your next hey, why have you done that? You've got your mics.
Yeah.
Your next Spartan when is
it's on Saturday.
Where?
In
Vegas. Vegas. Oh yeah, you're going to Wolfgang's place to pot.
Yeah, we made reservations to cut.
Pot. Yeah, to cut. Yeah.
I am going to get the $100 Wagyu filet mignon.
Beautiful.
With their red wine Bordelaise. And I find out that the wife wants the same thing. We're terrible at going to a place and getting two divergent things to try different things.
All right. So this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to order a third meal.
There you go.
And a third appetizer.
Yeah.
Okay. Order for me when you're there. Say, hey, Sykes, not here right now, but he's with us in spirit.
It's actually for 3, but one of us is ethereal.
Yes. You put your phone out there. I'll FaceTime you during your...
I'm not doing that with my romantic dinner with my wife. But
no, but order a third appetizer, please.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah,
Or get a third. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. So it's funny. I was telling her we're talking about prices now, right? And she was like, she was looking at this stuff, and then you talk about a couple of cocktails, wine, appetizers,
Sure.
add-ons, sides, dessert, perhaps.
Coffee, espresso.
Yes, excuse me. Yes. And she was like, this dinner is going to cost more than we used to spend on trips to Reno. Like significantly.
And you don't make or earn the exact same amount of money.
Yeah, but it's just funny to see how things change in our lives and how we grow, and obviously I've done very well for myself, and I'm
sure, yeah, you and your wife have done,
and excellent. I'm happy for that, and I feel blessed and all those things. But that doesn't change the fact that when you say it out loud, that you're just like, wow.
And that's only something you can experience if you have had the same relationship with the same person over an extended period of time, and you've built things together like you have.
Because the first time that we went to Reno, but of course, back then you could get rooms on a Tuesday and Wednesday for $19. And this isn't 100 years ago. I'm not that old. Calm down. This is this is 2001, 2002. In fact, I think the first year we went, they were $19. The next year they were $29. I just changed it. So $30 for a room.
Okay. Back
then, the city resort fees were $3.30.
All right.
So a room for a night was like $33, $34. So we went for 2 nights. We did some gambling. $5 blackjack was still a thing, and we went to the Roxy for the first time. My first. I've ever told you my first time at the Roxy story.
You got bread and left?
No, so good. It was my first fancy restaurant experience ever. Right? I'm 23 years old. Great. I'll tell you that story. We'll tell not today, but we'll do it sometime. Remind me, and I'll tell you the full story.
All right.
It was me, Amethyst, and Twig, and it was the kind of magical that I'll put it in the story sometime.
Okay.
But anyway, did the fancy French bistro steakhouse. We're there for 2 nights. Gambled the whole time. Everything out there we spent $240.
Okay.
That was for everything. Food the whole trip. Didn't have to buy booze because
$80 a person.
I mean, it was just me and Amethyst. We didn't not counting to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what we spent.
Okay.
But it was comparable.
Sure.
The biggest part of it was dinner. Yeah. And now we're talking about getting 2 standalone $100 steaks. Yeah. It's just, you can shrug your shoulders, but it still doesn't change the fact that when you put them side by side, it's funny. It's just, obviously a lot of time has passed.
Sure.
But yeah, and you're not wrong.
it's where we are in life, right? I've got 4 fillets sitting in my fridge right now.
I have 2 in my fridge too.
Let's go.
I'm gonna make when I go
The fillet, as Gordon would
Yeah.
say, the fillet mignon.
I told the wife, either I'm going to bring home tacos because Syke and I are going to get tacos, or I'm going to come home and cook those steaks, or I'm going to have steaks tomorrow for lunch. I'm going to do a grilled asparagus and onions and make the filet mignon. Oh, it's going to be good. But yeah, so back then, so we're talking about what, 2002?
It sounds like you're going to get out of that dinner for $700 to $1,000. That's what I'm. That's what
I
I'm
don't think it'll be that much. I think seven would.
Are you having 2 drinks?
Yeah.
And she's having 2 drinks?
Doubt it.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, let me. Okay,
The wine will be the big thing.
Sure. All right.
I'm probably thinking closer to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Take my wife out to a nice dinner.
So when the wife and I went, we sat in a booth, and the host pulled out the table from the booth to allow us to seat.
That's fucking clean.
They pulled the whole table pivoted out, and then we were able to walk in, sit down, and then they put the table back into place.
Dude, that's spoilers. Come on, that's pretty good.
That's the only one I'll give.
Okay.
So if you sit in a booth,
Yeah.
that might happen.
But what you're saying is correct about evolving and growing. And time has passed. And in 2002, I think that my base salary was $9.40 an hour.
Okay. So that dinner that you spent at the Roxy, calculate that in today's value for inflation. Account for inflation. And I suspect you're probably going to pay about the same. So tell that to your wife. She'll feel better.
So I put, how much would a $120 meal in 2002 cost today? That's what I put in. Let's see, inflation. But it says it would cost approximately $188 today.
That's wrong.
I don't know what to tell you. I think there's a lot of factors that we're not encountering. Like you're talking about just raw dollars as opposed to I mean, even now, so that steak at the Roxy, the 6-ounce or 8-ounce cut that we got, the filet mignon, it was probably like $24. And now what is it? Like $40? I don't know if that's increased that significantly. I think that you're going to be disappointed with this line of questioning. But I also discovered that we are close to where we're staying. We're staying at the Horseshoe this time.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. I had neither. But it's one of the Caesar's properties.
Gives the calculation.
You came up with $210? Yeah. It's not going to cost me $210. It's cost me $210 to fucking walk down the street.
So that did you say 2001, 2002?
2002, yeah.
You spent $120 for both of you?
I'm just saying, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was one person at that time.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we used to, back in the day, we used to go, before you and I were going regularly, we've always had an open invitation to people to go. And we would always tell people, if you want to come, if you want to go to the Roxy, and this is back in the early to mid 2000s, if you give me $75, have whatever you want. And that would include drinks, food, and wine. We would just order. And if there was any money left over, anybody who went to the Roxy, we would take that money, we would go and we would play the dollar slot machines. Because we didn't do that back then.
Okay.
Yeah, we were nickels, and
penny slots.
Yeah, well,
nickels. I mean, we know they're not.
They didn't really have penny slots back in the day.
I don't think they ever really had them. They're just
no, but I mean, they didn't have machines that took pennies, because we're talking about the end of the era where you had to put coins in the machine.
Oh.
So it was nickel machines, quarter machines, dollar machines.
Got it.
So we were nickel and quarter. If we felt frisky, we'd play the quarter wheel of fortune, but that money went fast, right? So nickel machines. And we would take that money if we had any left over after tip. Say 4 or 5 or 6 of us went. We all paid $75, and it came out pretty good. And we'd have $50 left over. We would take that money. We'd go around as a group and play the expensive slot machines until it was gone. It was kind of fun. Yeah, good times. And then we'd go over to Circus and play ticket arcade games and play air hockey and stuff. Because back then, Circus would stay open until way late.
So I just recently came across a new blackjack strategy.
Better than the reverse martingale?
It is no bust. It's a no bust strategy.
No bust?
So if you get 12, you stay. 12 or greater, you stay.
Oh, I see. So it's not a betting strategy, it's a playing strategy.
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
If you get 11 or 10, you might double down depending on what they have. You play everything else the same. Everything else works.
Regardless of what the face card is for the dealer.
It doesnn't matter.
Interesting.
It does not matter.
I'm going to let you try that out.
I'm going to.
That sounds statistically improbable.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But I know how you like to lose money, so.
Like crypto.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, bro, that was...
We did it.
We went through a lot today. We had some interesting...
from cats in my front yard and on my car to Starbucks.
To shooting people. To Trump on Mount Rushmore.
Trump was on Mount Rushmore, all the cryptocurrency, and I think we solved a lot for a lot
So
of
if you're
people.
hearing this and you're seeing the last episode that this was cut into, go back and watch the rest of them because fun things happened.
And if you have $5 million lying around and you are in another country, go get yourself a gold card.
Yes. And hit us up. We'd love to have you on our podcast.
Yeah, we should interview somebody soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're at the point where we might want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's get to a year.
Yeah,
Let's get to a year.
Get to a year.
We'll figure it out. But maybe you could be right here. Maybe this could be
Where we keep our booze on this little table right here, this could be you.
with your gold card. From Australia, joining us is...
We really just want to see what the gold card looks like.
I do. Don't you?
Does it have Trump on the side?
It might be based on...
And does it have like one of those banners over his head which says billions and billions?
Well, he's wearing a white shirt with a red tie. I don't know.
But it's all gold. It's all gold. I don't know if you're going to get that.
I don't know.
Is there red gold? I like black gold, right?
Rose gold.
Oh. This gold card's going to be sick if you're listening on it.
We should get on that committee.
Yeah. I'll make calls first thing Monday morning. See what I can pull off.
I knew you would.
I know people. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
That's all.
Hella dumb.